Do what you gotta do to slay the game.
What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. 10 tips to step up your photo game, be a better photographer overall, organized wise, just like to reel in clients and to really help you cultivate who your client is, keep them coming back, and
Get this going, cause
I know we taking pictures, but we also want to be professional. We want to make a living. So I've been shooting for 10 years. Just a background story on me. I have had the opportunity to work with brands like Nike, Adidas. I've done some things for Essence. I did a digital cover for them. So I have a range of things that I have shot over the past 10 years. I've put in a lot of work, and I'm excited to give you guys tips and tricks to kind of just make your process as a creative just more organized, more efficient, and also willing to book more clients, because that's ultimately the goal at the end of the day. So stay tuned if you want 10 tips on how to step up your photo game. Tip number 1, call sheet. A call sheet is like the most important part of the process when it comes to creating and working and doing photo shoots. It has the location, what time the shoot is, everyone's numbers normally, who's the makeup artist, who's the wardrobe stylist. It has all the information that everybody on the team needs to make sure that everybody is in the right space, the headspace, the right place at the right time. So definitely number 1, always start with a call sheet whenever you're starting anything. Number 2, mood board. I normally do the mood board honestly before the call sheet because it's like the inspiration, but we're just gonna make it 2 because it goes on the call sheet. This is like pretty much the vibe of the shoot. So for my mood board, I break down mood boards in a sense of I need the makeup artist to know what look 1 is, what look 2 is, and what look 3 is. For wardrobe, I kind of just give them a general idea of the mood or style of the shoot, just because it's harder to push get something like this, get something like this, get something like this, because they go to showrooms, they go to stores, so it's no guarantee that that's in season at the time. So I just give them a feel of what I'm looking for. If hair is on, I will definitely have a direct style that I'm looking for, and then when they get there, we can collaborate on what best would make them shine in the project, because I'm really big on if I'm collaborating with people that they are shining through in their best light and not just the inspiration and just doing exactly what that is. So heading into 3, this is a stickler for me in particular, just because I'm very big on color theory. Anybody that knows my work knows that colors is important. So the first thing I do is definitely pick out a color scheme, and it could consist of maybe 3 colors or 4. It depends on the vibe, but I like to work with 2 to 3 colors for each shoot, work from there. So if I pick out those colors, I'll send it to the makeup artist, I'll send it to the wardrobe stylist and let them know this is the vibe that we're going for the shoot. So when we show up, all those colors are already prepared and ready, and you really just have to match it with the location, whether it be the backdrop or, if it's on location, whatever the vibe is, everything's already got a cohesive feel. So for 4, choosing props. I've been into props for a while now, and I think that they really add to the image. So choosing props for me is something I normally do on my own a week before. I either go to the Goodwill or if I see something in an alley, I'm really random, if I see something in an alley and it's dope, I'm gonna grab that shit and shoot it. I'll spray paint things, I'll buy stuff from the dollar store, whatever little knickknacks that I feel would add to the image and make it cute. I definitely do that a week before. Just set aside an hour a day, just to think about what would make the shoot more enticing. So 5, location. If you're not shooting in the studio, location is pretty important. Me, I like to map out locations in the same kind of vicinity, so I'm not driving everywhere or walking miles and miles, because it's not good for the models and just the team. So 3 solid locations. I just have an eye for this after a while because I kind of know the idea of what I'm going for, and you will learn too. It kind of goes with your flow, your work, like how you execute as a creative in general. You'll know, like, I like this location because of this. I like this wall because of this. It's all goes with like your story and your narrative, but as long as it's in the same vicinity and it's easy for you guys to kind of maneuver, I think that like is like the perfect location concept. So, and then always like picking 3 different places. I know sometimes photographers stay in the same kind of look for all the looks, and it's like you could have switched it up. You could like make it more interesting. So always be open to, you know, changing up the location and doing things differently as well. Number 6, make sure you have a makeup artist and a wardrobe stylist. This is very key. I've done shoots without them before. Like, I have friends that I know will show up, you know, face beat, nails done, hair done. Like, I know those people, but that is not always the case with all models and all people. Not saying that you always need those things to have a good image, but it is efficient to have it just because, you know, the makeup artist is paying attention to the face. They might see something that you don't see. The wardrobe stylist is paying attention to the clothes on set, so they see the wrinkles. They see when the clothes aren't laying properly on the body and making it look as flattering as it could be. So just being open to collaborating with more than one person in the room is just always effective and just stronger. It helps your work. It helps you as a photographer work with different people and be able to direct and communicate what you want from the shoot as well. So definitely start a team, get a team, and start creating, having fun with it. Number 7, start on time. Okay. Starting on time is like, I'm probably the photographer that is always talking shit about starting on time, but that's just who I am. My makeup artists probably are always a little like on edge with me because I'm very, I just really like things to flow on time. So for makeup artists, I normally tell them like, you know, 30 to 45 minutes for the first look. Initially, and then any changes in between that, like 20 to 30 minutes. I think that's fair. That's enough time to get in there, get creative, you know, do what you have to do and make sure that the shoot is flowing properly. I think everybody should be on it because it's a collaborative effort. So definitely be on they ass for the time. So number 8 is lighting. A lot of people, women too, like I'm a vouch for like teaching women. I will teach women for free how to do lighting because I feel like it can be intimidating, and I was once intimidating with lighting as well. I didn't touch strobes. Well, actually, I started shooting with strobes at 19, but I backed away from it and didn't want to use Pro Photo, and I could have learned Pro Photo at like 19, but I think diving in and just not having any knowledge and just learning and trying and making mistakes and allowing yourself to learn lighting is very important. Don't be intimidated by it. At some point, everybody didn't know how to light, didn't know how to use a softbox, didn't know what diffuser to use. So just dive into that and be open to learning different avenues of shooting lighting. I normally go for like a softer light. If I do harsh shadows, it's normally intentional. So I just have an idea or a concept of like what route I'm going in. And I think planning that prior to the shoot is important as well. So then you know what time to shoot, when to shoot, and where to shoot. So if you're going for a softer light and you want that soft effect, I would shoot later in the evening and not at 1 o'clock during the day, because that's when the sun is directly high in the sky and you're gonna get those harsh shadows. So definitely do your research on lighting before going out to shoot. Which goes into 9, and this is kind of like after processing things and you know, after the shoot. Making sure your images are sharp. Having sharp images is like a stickler for me, just because you just never know if you're going to want to print an image later down the line and like sell it. Like I have an example here, I'll show you guys. This is a 4-year-old image. I hope the glare isn't going, but 4-year-old image, and one of my best-selling prints to this day, which is like why it's so important to really make sure you take a sharp image. Just making sure that you save those images and have them at the highest. That way I can blow that photo up from 30 to 40, you know, 30 by 40 or 40 by 60. It can go as big as a billboard because it's just saved at its highest and sharpest elements. So keep that in mind. You might be taking a picture today and not thinking that far in advance, but I always keep in mind of like archiving and just like making sure that I'm keeping things on file that, you know, might be, you know, interesting like years to come for me or for an individual out there, a museum, who knows? You know, you just never know where your work can go. So keep that in mind when you're creating. And the last tip, number 10, is plan your shoot from simple to complicated, which is probably like the best advice I can give. I have worked on sets with different photographers and assisted different people throughout my career, and I just think that this formula is something I've always done for myself, and I've never seen other people doing it. I've seen people just kind of dive in and create, but don't really like think about the room. Like I think about what it is to create for a makeup artist. I think about what it is to create for a wardrobe stylist, and I know not every photographer has to think that way. I just do, because I've always been on a crunch for time, and I know what it is to be on a crunch for time as a young up-and-coming creative. So when I create and plan for a makeup artist, I would tell them to start with the natural face and end with the face beat. Don't do the opposite. If we're doing a black liner, we save that for last. If we're doing hair and it's a ponytail, we save that for last. We do all the down and curly looks, whatever it is, we do that first. So I think just keeping in mind of the flow of everyone else's job on set and understanding how everyone else works, creating a window block for each of those sets is important. It's helped me create work quicker and more efficient. I know a lot of people are like, Jasmine, it was one point in time I was shooting all the time, but it's because I have this like formula of being able to, you know, organize myself in that way and being able to shoot with everyone else's idea in mind. I think, you know, being a guidance throughout the shoot has always helped me to be a efficient creative, and I think that's why people book me, you know, consistently, because the organization is important. So I hope these 10 tips help you guys with whatever you're trying to create, whether it be a test shoot next week or you're actually shooting for your first brand. I hope these tips help you guys to stay effective, organized, and ultimately help you master your gaze. So stay tuned for more videos. I'll be back soon.